Well, we're going to be hopping on to this map. C9 White starting over on the defense here. Will be Polaris on the attack. We got a Sheriff in the hands of Luna. Okay, not investing in the leaders or anything like that. Only needs one of those refreshes. Just wants to find some heads early, but both Jazzykins and... or actually, it's just going to be Jazzykins playing towards B main. We had the quick fall back there from Alexis. And is going to be able to peek just underneath there, constantly cycling back between the two angles, but no one's actually shown yet from Polaris.
Yeah, I like the way that Polaris is playing here. They're respecting C9's aggression, and they're trying to catch someone off guard. It's not going to pan out with anyone here as they collapse onto that B yellow box. But that wall is going to cause... they're attacking a little bit, and everyone from C9 White is already on the rotate. We're going to have a war into that B site.
Yes, that's the anti-plant wall. A lot of people will drop down that wall to make sure they can put the spike on the ground, but if you put it a little bit outside of plant range, well, you have to break through that one or go on this really weird trek around it all the way through that snow outside main. So here we go. Now the plant wall is down, but Spike hasn't hit the floor just yet. Starlight's working on that for the time being, but Slays is all the way back towards Snowman. What a crazy push from her, getting very deep forward. And now Luna, too, tries to go for it. Does get knocked down. Mel is good for 2, shutting down that push on forward. The spike still hasn't been planted. Right? Oh, Triggered with a triple right there at the end of it all. Kept trying to put the spike on the ground, said, screw it, I'm just going to click heads. Got the round there for Polaris when it looked completely doomed.
What a beautiful round from Trigger. She is going to keep C9 kind of on their toes here. Hey, you can't just expect our players not to pop off when it matters. And although she kind of dashed into a wall, it turns out in her advantage, she was able to kind of reconnect her aim here, right here. Recollect her aim and avoid getting a shot at 2, conclude her triple frag here. What a beautiful round. If there's any round for Polaris to win here, it has to be pistol. So that C9 maybe not get some doubts yet, but at least respect you a little bit more.
Look at this push. 3 players of C9 all the way up, but Triggered holding mid with that Marshall. Okay, Katsumi will come around the corner, but Triggered already found 2. Wow. Looking good with that Marshall, to say the very least. Remaining defenders sort of stuck over towards B main, apart from Mel as a Marshall of her own. Gets the tag for 101, can't quite find the head. And now could get looped around on from her own spawn. There you have it. Zoe with that push up mid. It's the kill. Jazzykins now trying to find something with the Sheriff, but all in all, a solid round there from Polaris, and Triggered finding a couple to make sure that aggressive B main push from C9, one of their little plays, they try to throw you off your guard, did not pan out.
And if I'm C9, I'm just trying to drop some gun here, hurt the economy so that the bonus is not too easy for Polaris, but both players are just going to be falling. Even a little bit of an upgrade for Zoe. She might even drop that gun to her teammate who fell a little bit earlier. Who knows? Maybe Starlight is going to keep that, but that does mean that Polaris is in a 2-0 situation for the first time in this game and in this matchup. They're going to be facing a full, ready and equipped C9. All weapons are up, all armor are up, except on 3 players actually. Only half armor on 3 of them. So the economy is not that great yet.
Yeah, I think Mel went for a Marshall in the last round, maybe some Sheriffs too for the rest of the team. And they talk about an easy bonus. Both Zoe and Luna held on to 50 armor. Triggered only had 25. Ended up deciding to invest the 1,000 creds and upgrade that one. And it's just 1 point away from the Blade Storm. So all of a sudden, you get an early pick, you get an orb or something like this with the Jet. You've got an attack ready to go. That's maybe why they're playing a little bit more forward towards B main. See if they can get her in a position to grab that orb and unlock a quick attack onto a site. And those early shots have drawn the rotation out of Mel. No longer holding Boiler. Has moved back towards Kitchen, but the spike is on its way over towards A. I think that dart may indicate what Polaris are attempting to do, but Polaris themselves are still trying to test the water as they creep up mid, use the smoke to cross the pass. Not a perfect smoke, but it gets the job done. No one was there to watch the angle, and now the creep up through Kitchen begins.
Yeah, it's enough to give some doubts here for C9 but Luna is going to get caught off guard. And instead of pushing forward, she falls back. So it's going to delay even more the plant potentially for Polaris. And I'm looking at this minimap. I still don't know where they're going. Are they going to go A? Are they going to go B? I don't even know if they know either. As we saw the narrative say, 20 seconds left, and Alexis is going to be able to get away with at least one kill. But Katsumi with the double. Polaris gets shut down really late into that round. But C9 looking great, keeping 4 players alive here, and that's going to help their economy so much.
You know, it's so interesting watching Polaris play that round because I think they were really hoping that C9 would get a little bit over-eager, you know, maybe bring a rifle into them. That's why they're sort of testing out every site, you know? Like, did they press forward in towards A? No, they didn't? Okay. Well, maybe we can pick someone in kitchen. Okay, no, there's a turret there. That's unfortunate. Now we have to go under tube. Like, they're constantly trying to test the water on that bonus round, and now, of course, have the money to invest here. That's going to be a good look for them. We can just drop that Viper smoke in mid to sort of feign a little bit more pressure in that area. But look at that, some shock darts actually tagging up both Starlight and Slays for a lot of damage. Starlight goes for the self-heal, but Slays is down on 35. That one hurt.
Yeah, it did, and we're going to see our first operator into action. So we're kind of pause a little bit and see if we can get anything with it, but Jazzy King is going to be not on my watch.
Oh, my Jazzy!
Player away, but she repeats. This time she doesn't, dashes away, and she's going to be falling. That could be a costly situation for C9 to be in.
Just unbridled aggression right there. I love it.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. I mean, jumping up onto the pixel angle box is one thing. Jumping up onto King looking for that orb area is another. Just completely wild there. Zoe has made her way up towards the kitchen, but it is a bit of a cross here. Oh man, about to be a crossfire, so at best Zoe's going to be able to find one kill off of that one. I really like how C9 holding kitchen against this flank, but Annie unexpected playing middle sight there. Gets a couple of kills and the tag down onto Slays as well, I believe. So C9 cleaned that round up very easily. Hold on to 4 rifles and 3 players on full armor. That's a big win for C9.
Yeah, and C9 is respecting Polaris so much right now. And I think that Polaris might be overthinking it. They're being a little too cautious. And once that they get contact or they find an opportunity to make a play, they're not collapsing on that area of the map. And they're just getting caught off guard one by one. And C9 is coming out on top of every duel and aim exchange. This is some crisp aiming at the heads from C9 White. So if Polaris wants to play this game, they're going to lose out, I think.
Oh, Jazzykins can't quite find the kill. There we go. We got there in the end. I'm trying to select my words right there. It's not working out too well, but playing up on top of green. So hard to find the daggers through all those wires. Jazzy with the pre-fire, and around the corner yellow goes Alexis. 3 versus 5 now. Not much to work with for Polaris. And there's 3 players, all so well coordinated off one another, right? Like they're all ready to trade in a moment's notice, right? If Jazzykins finds one peeking, all of a sudden you're going to see Alexa swing around yellow, be there for that, and that makes Polaris think twice about actually executing on the B site.
If you're just joining us today, you might have realized we're playing on an earlier patch, so the boxes in that B site are spammable, so it makes it a little bit harder for our players to get into that site, especially on a save round like right now. And
C9 haven't moved. It looks like they all disconnected. They are in their spots they know are completely unbeatable, and they refuse to change anything. Polaris just walked straight back in to the same situation they had 30 seconds ago. C9 are so well coordinated. I love it.
Yeah, and there's a dangerous situation to be in when you're a top team playing a team like Polaris. Not only can you not really counter Polaris because there's no data to be taken from, but also you might feel overconfident here and start pushing and getting frags and keep like giving away some guns, like hurting your economy a little bit because you know you're just quote unquote better on paper. But here, that C9 anti-eco round, like you mentioned, none of the players were moving. That was quite impressive. I have to say, as a next player, I would have probably went a little bit more aggro here.
Yeah, C9, they just don't want to give a single opening over, although Triggered finds one, makes one for herself. Can she get this kill in stream? She has the heal coming through. The Viper's Pit just in the middle of mid around Boiler. Annie with the shock darts gets two. The right click from the classic, a third. C9 are unstoppable. It just doesn't matter. Annie gets a fourth kill. Everyone else leave the server. This one belongs to Annie.
And she knows, and it looks like her teammates are trying to give her some room. Slays though is gonna say, Jazzy, are you not gonna give that haste to Annie? Let me deny you that steal. So that B side is completely open. Let's see if she goes for the plant right away. A little bit of a recon bolt here to see if anyone is there. She's just gonna tap it out, see what's up. And I mean, she has a really rough situation to be in. 1 versus 4. She's gonna need an ace of herself to be able to win this
30
round.
seconds left.
And then, you know, she doesn't know what we know. But there was a free site here. She could have gotten a free plant. But at 20 seconds left, and the way that C9 is turning back on her, and Annie is gonna get that ace.
Okay, Annie. Annie's got it today. Good lord. All 5 kills right there with shock darts, with classics. Used the Vandal in the end, but really just needed some well-placed utility inside the Viper's Pit. Look at that. That triple, almost instant, coming through for Annie. And that right there, too. Quickly adjusting for the player boosted on top of pipes. Beautiful
Might be
play.
flick out of the day here.
It's beautiful.
I don't know if you can add the ace to the flick of the day, but it has a little bit of weight on who is going to win that one a little bit later. But Polaris here on the anti-eco. But it does look like the C9 machine has started here under.
I mean, Jazzy, you just finding the wing of a dart right there. And going for that same peak she went for earlier. I love it. Not worrying that she lost the last duel. This time she has an operator, and they've got shorties and whatnot. The shorty is a good gun, though. Don't forget that Triggered is going to be able to upgrade over to a Vandal. Hopelessly stuck down underneath Rafter, though, without a dash to try and quickly escape. The wall does give her some way on out of here, and she resets the dash. 23 HP, though. The spike still yet to be planted, so really just hoping someone steps into her crosshair. Not the worst round at the end of the day for Polaris. You notice they've got 3 ultimates ready to go. Triggered's going to have her own Blade Storm ready after this round. She does make some noise, but had to anyways for the plant. Hoping someone would peek her. And C9 just showing so much reservation. Like, their play is just crisp. They don't give you a way to feel like you can play the game at all, right? You know, the fake plants 2 rounds in a row, no one's biting. No one's letting it happen. Because Triggered is just sort of stuck on side. I kind of love the way she's playing it, too. She can pop up here, play inside the smoke. She's going to get instantly traded, though. You have to imagine Katsumi somehow is the one that actually finds the kill in the end. C9 take their 5th.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I also like the way that Triggered played this. She was already really low, so just stay in that smoke, get to 1 HP, and try to win the round that way, because I don't think there was any other solution for her to be in. Fortunately, though, she's not able to connect with that kill onto Katsumi. It does mean that we're at 5-2, 5 rounds in a row, and they all look pretty easy. That was the closest round, and that was the save round. But here we have it, our first timeout of this game, Polaris timing out. I like this. Teams too often pause so late into this half. You don't want to let C9 get away with more than 5 rounds before pausing. It's never just a matter of how you feel. It's also how the opponents feel. And as you saw a few rounds ago, Annie is starting to be feeling it.
They absolutely are. I mean, it has been very hard for Polaris to try and break in onto a site. They do have the Hunter's Fury this time around, so like one of the better ultimates when it comes to trying to take some space, get an early pick. If a drone can find a tag, all of a sudden you're trying to get something done. But the problem is on A, it seems like Jet's the one that's peeking them. So if you find a drone tag, well, that's not going to get much of anything done. She's simply going to dash away. And the rest of your ultimates aren't that good, I guess, for trying to like take space on a site, right? Like other duelists, perhaps something like a Phoenix or a Raze. Not that you would ever want them on a map like this. These are definitely the agents to go for. They could get you some space, but Jet probably just going to invest for a rifle. Maybe with the shorty, actually, she does go for the daggers. Go for some aggressive dash plays on that, so we'll see what's in store for us there. But it is going to be an A look off the rip for Polaris. Blade Storm has been used, and Jazzykins has been revealed by that dart. Knows exactly where the Sova's going to be, but has to fall back without being able to hit that Sova drone.
Yeah, she's been punished before in these early aggressions, so even though now she's going to get the first kill onto Cat Trigger, she's able to get away safely. And that was pretty beautiful. Not going to lie. That looked like an impossible shot for her to hit.
I mean, there's just a Jet full running, jumping across the screen. Jazzykins, click, boom. It's gone. Now we're back over to the B site. I like that they left Zoe over towards A, trying to get the rotations out here, but it's a very hard site unless you push up very far forward to actually find that, other than just a simple flank. Now we have the default plant wall to get the spike on the ground. They do have the Hunter's Fury for the post plants. And they got some post plant mollies, I think. Look at where Zoe is on the map, all the way back at drop in spawn, ready to go. Catch a flank, maybe some mollies if she has a lineup from that deep. That would be pretty crazy. Has double snake bites. They've got double shock darts, so the post plant is a possibility. They have to send the Hunter's Fury to slow it down for the time being. And on the push forward, Luna can't quite find that last shot. Alexis is here for the 3K. I believe there are some mollies on the spike, but eventually Zoe's going to have to run in here. Alexis knocks down 4 in vain, and C9 take yet another.
C9 seems to not really worry about giving up that B side because they're able to take it back every single time. Alexis is the one this time that shows how good she can be, especially holding on the fort with her Sage, usually around that kitchen area, getting the quadruple kill. And I've talked a little bit earlier about how crisp the aim from C9 White is, but it's not only the aim, it's also the crosshair placement. You know, you can see they are at a different level than some of the players in this tournament just because of that. The way that they always are ready to shoot at the head level, and it's paying off. They're winning almost all of their battles.
Individually, the team is just so good, and then their coordination completely sets them apart from the rest of the pack. The aggressive push up there from B gets the kill. The trigger does find one with the operator, though, but Annie is still playing around Maze, shutting it all down. See those aggressive pop-ups. The operator just barely tags Mel through the wall. And here we are once again. Polaris completely shut down in their attack, wondering what went wrong. They have the rifles, they have the guns. Slays does get a kill around mid, and if only they knew all 3 players from C9 were stacked on that A site, they could quickly rotate over towards B instead. They're going to take things a little bit slower. C9 now sensing it, moving 2 players around mid again. This is the type of coordination we want to see from them as they're ready to play off of one another. Sova, Viper, very near one another. If you see the fight here, Sandy could just pop up through the boiler. Timing's a little bit off, but Katsumi doesn't even care. Right against that wall. Katrigger does get that kill. 25 seconds on the clock. Still has the operator in hand. Probably wants to use that to get 1 kill and then trade over to a regular rifle. But the Hunter's Fury will slow it down. You gotta tap, tap, tap away. Clock is ticking. 12 seconds. Another one almost hits you. It's so frustrating for Katrigger. And now she doesn't have time to change over to a rifle. She's got a shorty. She's got a op, and that is just not good enough. Alexis comes around the corner and puts a little extra into the floor to show who's boss.
And there was a little bit of, I'm trying to outsmart you and going back where you just cleared. And I'm going to try to plant there. And then Annie said, not on my watch. I know you're probably doing that. So let me just re-aim exactly where I aimed on the first Hunter's Fury for my 3rd one. And it worked out perfectly for C9. That was the time that they needed to win. Not allowing that trigger to swap weapon like you mentioned. So C9 at this point, if you're Polaris, what do you think you have to do? And because right now, as individually, they're just a little bit better. A little bit. They're just better. And then as a team, they're also a little bit better. So what can you do if you're Polaris?
So, I mean, I would say for Polaris, like, it's their B hits have been a little bit more successful, right? Like, they've actually been able to get the spike on the ground with multiple players alive.
Yeah.
I think the last time they planted B, one of the big problems was that the Killjoy lockdown came out, and they were all forced all the way deep towards B main. When they had the Hunter's Fury, and they used it to stop the plant instead of maybe trying to destroy that. So without a lockdown available, maybe playing the post plant becomes a little bit easier. Without that deep push into spawn, because they've got lineups for it, right? We saw the snake bites from all the way back in spawn. They've got shock darts as well, but breaking yellow has been a big problem for them. And I think maybe some more clever usage of utility, using the drone, using quick dashes out from a jet could be effective, but this composition doesn't have any real way to take a ton of space quickly, right? Apart from the Leer, that's the one way to flash out and push up towards B main. But when you've got two players watching on both yellow and top site, you can quickly break a drone or a Leer or anything like this, and then you can quickly get stuck in B main, which has been a big problem for Polaris throughout the day.
30 seconds left.
And the clock is starting to tick here for Polaris to take a decision. We have some kills being exchanged. One from C9 only falling here into this round, but Jazzy King. Jazzy King's just pushing here towards A, getting that frag. It's all in the ends of get triggered once again. She's the only one that got a kill in this round so far, but she's so far from that spike. 5 seconds left. There's not much she can do here.
Triggered. Coming around the corner. Jazzy Kins just has a shoddy out. Okay. Did they secure that one from the corpse a little bit earlier of Triggered when they were playing on site? I think that might have been what actually happened, using the Killjoy shorty against her. And C9 continue to cruise through. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this was Polaris' map pick, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was indeed. That's why C9 is starting in defense as well. Picking the quote-unquote easier side. And you looked at the scoreboard a couple of seconds ago, and Cat Trigger is the only one that's kind of turning up for Polaris. So it's a rough situation to be in. She is the Jet, though, so that gives her a little bit of an edge, especially on a map like Icebox. But I like this. Finally trying to gain some ground here with that drone.
But the problem is B main is not yours anymore, and C9 play a super aggressive B main, right? So either you get flanked there, and that's a problem. They don't end up biting with the Jet holding that angle there. Or if you actually commit onto B site, you have to worry about so many different angles, right? Undertube, B main, Snowman, Heaven, like all these different things are going through your head, which can be a little bit challenging. They are 1 point away from the Viper's pit, so I'd love to see them drop the spike into the hands of Zoe to be able to get that one down, go for one of those really crazy Viper ults that you can send from the top of B site. But already 3 kills very quickly from Polaris. That's exactly what you want to see. They don't have the Viper's pit. The spike did go over to Sage. And now, just a 2 versus 4 with C9 trying to make some room. Katsumi has to get something, but the Sage Wall shuts down any real entrance into the site. Oh my god, she's just dashing forward! What? Jazzykins is out of control! Ruthless, I mean, now there's a crossfire for sure. Polaris get the kill, but what do you even do when you're being dashed on with a shorty?
Last round in the half.
Oh, I'm sure you're upset. I'm sure you're like, oh no, that just happened to me. But in the end, it is the first gun round that Polaris is able to secure. And we were kind of interested with that tunnel push. That house push was really finally something interesting. You know, they were like, hey, let's just use our drone and gather some ground and gather some map control. They saw a little bit of a hole. It could have been dangerous, like you said, especially because they could have gotten flanked from that push. But in the end, I think that C9 respecting Polaris here a little bit too much. Never went for that flank. But I think that they might be trying to do it again, or at least fake that they're doing it again.
Yeah, they want to show that it's an option, right? Because it worked so well, and this time you see C9's immediate response is, oh, we don't want to flank, so we're actually going to fall all the way back to site because of how much space Polaris were able to get in kitchen just last round. A quick peek over boiler. Luna isn't quite quick enough to react. We still got 4 players just chilling out in mid here for Polaris. This drone's going to get a ton of value. I think spotted 2. Well, it's actually spotted 3 even. Potentially even 4, but Mel with the spam through the smoke is going to shut down Slays. One less player C9 have to worry about. And that's going to cause Polaris to rush a little bit. They need that resurrection. Still got a couple players over towards A, but C9 are kind of reading this. 3 players here very quickly ready to respond if a mid hit was to come through. It will be that lurk up from Luna through mid. That's what I'm watching as both Viper Spits actually go down onto the site. The flank is shut down, and now you have to walk straight into the smokes, but Katsumi can't find the kill. 1 pit goes down. Annie is stuck in the back of sight. Polaris just 20 seconds on the clock, and Annie is okay. Gets the kill, and we're stuck here. Slays stuck. 1v3, pulls out the classic, gets the kill, but there's simply too much to do and too little time. 9-3 at the half for Cloud9.
Switching sides.
It was still a very close round compared to a lot of what we saw a little bit earlier. I mean, if you're Polaris, 3 rounds.
Much to be expected. C9 White dominating on their defensive half. Polaris were able to pull away with 3 rounds, 1 at the very end there. Now it's C9's chance to go on the attack. Let's see what they can have happen here. That's one way of saying it. Let's see what they can do is a better way of saying it, as they are geared up and ready to go quickly over towards B, it appears.
Yeah, it does look like they have a game plan and they're sticking to it with that little recon bolt here. The spike is down, so I wonder if it's as I say that, Annie's gonna pick it up. I wonder if it was just kind of a testing out the water and seeing if anyone from Polaris was gonna bite. We're gonna be grabbing that orb. Gonna come in Indy for later. As our Viper's wall is gonna go up, both of them actually are gonna go up. Gonna be trying to plant that spike here and going through the defending wall.
Oh, man. Okay, quick little trade there from Alexis. Alexis had some ridiculous rounds. I mean, look at it. She goes to the snowman push. Polaris tried to do this on their attacking pistol round, where they pushed on deep. They only got 1 player back there. This time, C9 have everyone. 3 players all tucked away. Luna does not expect it, but does get the kill as she goes for the heal. Will be traded on through, and Annie has to be so big here. Full HP in a 1 versus 2 situation. 8 bullets in the tank. Gets the tag on through. That's good, but gets swung around on the opposite side. Get Triggered will show up, and Polaris win yet another pistol round here.
2-0 for Polaris in pistol rounds today. And even though C9 looked like they had a beautiful game plan, it's always a matter of executing it properly, right? And it looks like Polaris came out on top of the gun exchange, especially at the end. Annie was kind of stuck here in between 2 players. She lost her initial fight and then got caught off guard without her weapon out. So that does mean that Polaris is going to be on SMG full buy here. Only SMGs available, and it looks like they want to run it down right away on top of that ramp nonetheless.
And look at C9 though. They're investing here, right? They've got full specters across the board, light armor on everyone. C9 want to make a statement in this second round and battle back against Polaris. Light armor means, hey, at least we can't get 1 shot to the body by that Marshall in the hands of Luna back towards Rafter, but very quickly Polaris have made their way towards A. They got 2 players in mid, making sure they're going in sort of late push, but Katsumi gets one on Rafter while Jazzykins knocks down Luna too, and well, now Polaris, you gotta sort of catch your breath for a moment, because this wall in the back of sight makes it very hard to step on forward. There's 5 players still alive for C9.
Yeah. And I was talking about, do we save here? But that's the situation where I wonder if we should save our SMGs and just kind of bring it to the next round, because C9 looks in a beautiful position to take it away. And as I say that, it's going to be a 3 versus 3. We're going to win our battles left and right. But that flank is planted so far back behind that wall. Slays in a 1 versus 2. They're going to be falling. She's going to be falling. And Alexis is closing this round. That's a 10th round on the scoreboard. And this time, C9 forcing was the right choice here.
It is so interesting watching C9 play these first 2 rounds in particular, because the way they're playing their post plants is so unnatural, right? On B site and pistol round, they do the wall off on Snowman, and everyone goes Snowman. right? Then on this A site, we have 3 players playing behind that Sage wall back site in a post plant. Like, everyone goes back towards A main in a post plant, right? You play the angles. You're not on top of each other, literally on site. That's exactly what C9 did. And every time Polaris stepped forward, they're like, oh, we got that guy. We're fine. Oh, wait, no, there's another. Oh, there's another. It's just not working nearly at all. And C9 are able to use that unorthodox playstyle to really disrupt the expectations of Polaris and steal themselves away a second round off the Force.
Yeah, and a couple of them invested here in top rifles. A couple of Vandals here in ends of some of the C9 players. They're taking their time because they know that Polaris is on some sort of scrappy buy, and they might be making a play, and that's exactly what's happening. Katsumi is going to face eventually a couple of players here behind our turret, and she's going to decide to not get that fight. Takes that fight, and all of Polaris is also dipping.
They're all gone. Like, okay, we didn't get it, guys. Run away. Get on out of there. Still nobody on B site, by the way, as they realize, wait a second, something may be going down. And as the default wall gets put down, Polaris know exactly what is going to be happening. Still, though, just pistols running into this one. Not going to be easy. They also, I mean, getting someone to commit to a flank going to be very hard at this point, with everyone on C9 playing a very natural post plant now that they have the rifles, not trying to mix things up, just trying to play it by the books and secure it. Jazzy is just looking clean today, isn't she? Really good shot there with the Vandal, and the caps may come out, but Polaris kind of have to full send it all the way back towards yellow. Not much you can do in this type of a situation. C9 take it to 11. 4K for Jazzy.
Must feel good if you're observing this game. I'm talking about one of our observer, Mel, because she stayed on Jazzy and she picked the right player because Jazzy got 4 kills in front of our eyes, and it looked so clean, so easy, so stellar. But this time, Polaris is on the buy. They have their first operator on their defending side, and everyone is ready. They need this round because if they don't win this round, and that does mean they're at match. C9 is at match point, and that's gonna. I mean, at that point, it's almost an impossible feat. You know, if you need to win like 8 rounds in a row versus C9 White, that's rough.
Yeah, I mean, good luck with that is all I'll say. I'm actually really surprised with the position Katrigger is playing with this operator, trying to peek underneath tube with that one. Not holding either of those main sites. Luna's boosted up here, but he could have crossed over towards yellow. A good drone will give the information that that's going to be happening. Katrigger hasn't really found value with that op just yet. Gives up the cross, fearing perhaps someone pushing up a little bit closer. Now wants to take that boiler angle to hold off tube, I would imagine, for her Sage player. But C9 not really trying to overextend themselves just yet. They've worked it back into nearly a full default with mid-watched B main, A main pressure virtually everywhere. C9 just testing the waters, waiting for Polaris to make a mistake.
That mistake is not going to come, so they're going to have to pick a site. There's 40 seconds left. And they decide that A is their side, but you still see Jazzy King kind of disrupting towards B. She's going to try to catch some rotators. As
30 seconds
some
left.
of the Viper utilities are being used. There it is, Jazzy here. Just making sure that Polaris can't get away with all 5 players already towards A. And that does allow C9 to be planning because she was able to get key 2 players towards B. So that retake, even though it's a 5 versus 4. At this point, I don't know which team has a favor in that retake.
It's hard. There's a Hunter's Fury still to work with, but as they clear Hell, Zoe takes down Alexis, and now it's a little bit more doable. It's a Spectre very far away from Annie, too, so she's good with the Hunter's Fury. Katsumi playing on pipes, gets 1, 2, 3! Somehow she's making it happen, but an operator stops her dead in her tracks. Time, her enemy in that one, and Polaris secure a round.
Yeah, her kills were stellar, but they were just a second too late. All of her teammates were completely gone, and she had to win it 1 versus 5. And at that point, even though she got 3, it was not enough. Let's take a look back at this. She's getting 1, 2, 3 onto Luna, but then after that gets punished by Katrigger. But even if she got that kill, I don't think she had enough time because the spike was already almost fully diffused. So C9 Wine losing a crucial round for Polaris. And they're going to be on a full buy, though, still. Only Alexis here with a pistol.
Oh, wow. The Viper's Pit goes over towards B, and C9 not even in a position where that slows them down. They're already creeping up towards A. Azikins trying to dodge out the drone. No one really to shoot it for her. And, well, Luna gets two very quickly. Slays has the Hunter's Fury. And we saw that one, but the resurrection comes through from Jazzykins. It's going to be a 3 versus 4 for the time being. Still, Polaris playing it quiet, playing it slow, making sure no one lurks back through that B site. Zoe still camping out that one. And the spike will hit the floor in time for Polaris to set up and try to retake this.
Placing swarm grenade. My ult's not ready.
A very good looking round once again for Polaris. Now, post-plan, though, is looking kind of interesting for Polaris because even though they don't have a wall here to block it, I don't know if C9 is able to once again gonna retake that.
Oh.
As I see that the kills are coming in.
Jazzy!
Jazzy with a double. Zoe now is the one outnumbered. And the clock is ticking. I don't know if she's gonna have time to close this round out.
Oh man, Jazzykins with the 3K right there. Beautiful stuff. And the patience too, right? Like you get those first 2 kills, those are huge for your team. Then you almost get caught trying to updraft towards pipe. You don't take that peek. If you give the 1v1 over to Polaris there, the round is winnable. Still very hard, don't get me wrong, but C9 are by the books and they don't give you breathing room, and that's what makes them so great.
Yeah, they're on match point right now, but the only glimpse of hope for Polaris is that they started this round pretty well. It was a 5 versus 4 retake, and you know, in a perfect world, they should have gotten away with it, but C9 just is showing how dominant they are today. 5 rounds. That means they need 7, guys. Keep that mat into your hands, into your heads. It's going to be a rough one. And Cat Trigger with the knives out here is going to get spotted by the drone. Fall back a little bit. She gets saved by Zoe here. You know, the kills are getting exchanged to left and right. This is the first round that's kind of a massacre here into this matchup.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, Triggered actually got 1 kill with the knives before being shot down there over on the corner of site. There are rifles in the hands of Polaris now. It's a very doable round for them. C9 very concerned about a potential flank coming through. That flank never to come. Polaris playing together, not trying to take any individual battles. C9 just cut noise for the time being. Wait for a peek. The peek not going to come, though. Again, Polaris have figured out that you don't make mistakes against C9. Let them come into you, and then maybe you can punish.
And it's been working out because C9 is waiting for these mistakes, and they're not coming, as you mentioned. So they're had to push here. 30 seconds left. That wall is going to come down. That spike as well. And Annie just sees a little bit of an edge and gets the kill, but she gets traded right away from Zoe. 2 versus 2, though. This is winnable for C9. Slays, though, wants to keep her team alive. Can she make it happen? She has a recon bolt. It's going to get shut down by Alexis. This is huge, and she's going to win her 1 versus 1. She has plenty of time to get that defuse on the spike. We will see another round into this matchup.
I mean, just the sense right there of Slays to know I need to use this dart clear over there, because the position that Alexis was in was insane. She had her back to her own wall. She's tucked in behind the corner of center site there, and she has ropes available. So she has so many different options as to how to play the round, and I think the only way you really lose that is if, well, Slays guesses right and peeks the right angle after tapping the spike, or you have a dart like that, and Slays chooses the option where you win it every single time. Great stuff.
Really well played, but it's not over. They still need 6 more rounds, and that's a lot of rounds to win versus C9. They're halfway there. They want to bring it to overtime, and C9 is going to be on a low buy. I'm not going to say a safe round.
Get out of my way.
They upgraded some of their weaponry, but it's going to be a low buy here. Just trying to see what they can do with it and maybe steal away a thrifty round for the victory here.
We'll have to wait and see. Katsumi has a Guardian in her hand. So does Luna, actually. Loving to play with that one. Just getting destroyed by the shock darts. All of a sudden, there's knives coming around. That's a Guardian on the ground to be secured for yourself. Jazzykins on top of yellow here. How aggressive are you going to get? You can glide and try to peek under tube over by orange if you want, but that is a bit aggressive. And Polaris, or rather C9 White, not going to bite and overextend on that one. But they can't really leave this B site. That's the problem. You look at how aggressively Polaris have pushed out of A main. Triggered, knocks down Katsumi. And now they can't even go back and find that Guardian for themselves. They're onto the B site now. No, someone's here. Starlight comes around the corner and immediately gets knocked down by Alexis. C9 with the numbers advantage, and a convincing one at that. Zoe on little HP, and now it's Triggered, a 1 versus 3 with an operator. How do you clear it all? Start with the player under sight. That's going to be one. What else can she do? Players to both left and right. No Killjoy utility left to deal with. Keep the map alive. She has to make it happen. Who the hell plays there? Who plays in front of yellow? I'll tell you who. It's